Hello? Anybody home?
See if these comments are working now. We were having trouble with them earlier in the day.
Well, we came on in a different way, but anyhow, This is something new that we talked about, I think, last week.
Yeah, we talked about doing Tangent Tuesday.
Because it was Motivate Your Monday, and I said, but we're having a Tangent Tuesday, and then everybody's like, let's have Tangent Tuesday.
Right.
And so I have been working my little, took us off today.
Yes.
So
nonstop for the past 12 hours.
Oh yay! I see a YouTube comment. Yes.
Yay.
So we went live through Ecamm to two things instead of Restream, and you guys couldn't comment on YouTube, and I still don't know why. So we'll see if we can figure that out. But here we are. Welcome. Welcome to the new Tangent Tuesday. I was going to work a little bit, write down some recipes for testing, and I took some photos. And I spent 3 hours grocery shopping today, and I did a live where we unbagged our peck bag from Perkins Orchard.
It's really, she got so much in that bag. I just don't know how she got so much in there.
Oh, I'm going to have to check that out. That could be a setting in Ecamm that I haven't checked, or it didn't go seamlessly over. That's a great point. So Apple is saying maybe it said that it was for kids. And I'll check and see if it says that. It did.
It did update right before we went live.
So there could be a little something or something. But I'm very sorry for that.
She said it had the family badge on it.
Okay. Well, thank you for figuring our lives out. I will go.
Our lives, period.
I've got my computer here because I may work if Cheryl is going on a tangent, then I can edit a couple of photos. And I have a giant thing of water. And Miss Terry's here. Red lentil, yellow lentil. I'm ready to go off free range for Tangent Tuesday.
We'll
nice. See if I'm going to regret having Tangent Tuesday. But mostly, you know how our conversations just kind of flow. And like when we have guests, we just go where the conversation goes. So that's what I'm hoping. It stimulated my Nancy Drew personality.
That's awesome.
Excellent. Yay. I like that. So what would you like to start off with?
I think you should show off your tattoo.
That's kind of... Okay. There you go. It's my new tattoo for Tangent Tuesday. It is an octopus coming out of a cauldron with a little potion bottle with bubbles in it and a little spell book.
The detail on this thing, like you can't really see it on here. We would have to get a camera like right down on it, but the detail is just amazing. Like literally in the potion bottle, you can see bubbles. You can see it bubbling up in there, and it's multiple colors of bubbling like you would expect.
Well, now I feel like you need to somehow get your leg up here and show people.
Does this reach?
It might. Okay, this is going to be exciting.
Try to keep my pants from falling down.
That would not be good. Yes.
Oh, Fergie.
Fergus goes, I see a camera.
That's my seat.
Here you go. The colors may not be perfect, but look at this beautiful angel.
Little munchkin.
And even though you can see our other stuff that we moved off the counter, you still can't see. You still can't see her. She is
here.
I
was going to put my leg up there on the stool.
Well, I understand, but Fergus wants butt pats.
There's a butt in the way. All right, buddy.
Booty slap. Pat, 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 pat.
Okay, here we go.
You can sort of see it. Here we go.
The camera.
And so hers has a similar kind of octopus coming out of a TARDIS. Fergus is like, what's that? You didn't have tattoos before.
It's like, why you got
He's
diaper
going,
rash lotion on
I
that?
leave you alone for a minute, and this is what you do. Yeah, a warm seat for Fergus. Where's the other stool that we bring out for him? Oh,
It
it's
has
got
the
some.
swirl on it.
Okay, come here.
Here, you're going to have to sit in between us, bud.
Why don't you come up here?
Oh,
Let me give you some more room.
okay.
Okay.
Lay down.
All right. Fergus is like, I am going to be here for Tangent Tuesday if you want me to be or not. I have all the tangents. They have been the kitties have been so sweet and
They have.
loving. And
Freya's grown.
oh, you
like-
missed the tattoo? Obs, both tattoos or both of ours? So here's mine. I'm kind of funny about showing my
Here,
arms.
let me see if we can get it closer.
Oh,
That's as far as it'll go. So you're going to have to kind of get down here.
wait, can you,
There.
there you go. So you can see the potion bottle.
The detail is just...
And I know the
super cool.
colors don't look as good on this one as it does the other. And
Here, I'll do mine.
Cheryl will do hers again. Tangent, told ya, warned ya.
Ready?
Okay. And this,
Sling my leg up again.
okay, there we go. Your colors show up better, but I guess it's because
Well,
you're farther away.
I just put stuff on it a little bit ago.
Okay.
So that's mine.
Fergus. Oh, when I said free range, I was speaking to Fergus. I get it now. Okay.
Yeah, good.
But yeah, and so I have like purples and greens and stuff. I haven't put my lotion on today,
Okay, buddy.
so it's not as shiny as hers. Yeah, when you said free range, I was like, Yes, Bunny.
You got to move over a little bit.
Can you move over a little
a
bit?
little bit?
And now I'm covered in Fergus hair. Oh, he's not going to like that. You got to hold both ends. He's like, hold both ends.
Okay, now you can get right here.
Okay. And you know what's funny? It's he almost never comes up here unless we're going to go live. Like, it's not like he hangs out on the counters during
It's
the
like
day.
he sees the lights come on and then he's like, ooh, let
He's
me
like,
go over there.
I think I would like to be in the shadow. And this is my very, very first tattoo ever. We got them on the Scarlet Lady, the Virgin Voyage that we were on, and from a woman from South Africa who lives in Barcelona. So, yeah, it's such detail and color. She did such an amazing job. So, like, I was a little nervous because I'm like, look, how about an octopus in a cauldron? She sort of like made a line drawing. And I knew it was going to be different, but you still don't know now.
Yeah, and you look at the line drawing and you're
You're
kind of like, Because, I mean, I have this one that is just basically a line drawing with some color, right? There's not a lot of texture to it or anything like that because it's something that I designed and it's just, it's there. And so I knew I wanted something that was nicer, more detailed, more
Arty.
depth, more
Arty.
arty. Yeah, I wanted something with some depth to it that didn't just look flat. So I got me my TARDIS I've been always wanting.
Oh, and T.S., this is the first time you didn't pop up in YouTube, even though I checked the notification tab. I have no idea. Restream is doing all kinds of crazy
I gotta
nonsense.
actually try to chat with them tonight or tomorrow. It's all messed up.
Yeah, we'll figure some of that out. Okay, so we did tattoos. And what's also interesting, so since it's Tangent Tuesday, I decided to get on my arm because I actually haven't worn sleeveless things since I was 30. It's been 30 years since I've really worn anything sleeveless. And I want to work on loving parts of myself that are, my arms are very helpful. I couldn't cook or make recipes or take photos or do other things, at least not easily without them.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to, as my body's changing and reaching goals slowly, which I'm good with, I want to try and, be a little bit better about that. And
So she showed her arms a lot while we were on this last
I
trip.
wore a tank top dress twice. Yeah, I have all these little, like, t-shirt jackets that I can do that.
They're like shawls. Is that what they used to call them? Shawls?
No, shawl is like a triangle.
Okay.
That goes, whew. Fergus, I need to brush you, honey, because you were shedding. We let him go outside briefly today.
That was it. No more.
And so I think that's having... Okay, let's see. Aw, Obs is proud. Thank you. And Tia says, does he follow you into the bathroom too? 3 of my 4 cats.
They both do.
Oh,
There's no going to the bathroom by
there
yourself.
is no privacy in this house. So, like, let's say if I leave early, which is what I was going to do, and we'll see if that happens or not, I will teeter down, and Fergus will come and lay on top of me. And I have to touch him in ways that he is happy and appropriate with, or he will get angry. Fergus, little nibble.
What you doing, buddy?
Hey, Ron. Yeah, this cat is a boy cat. The other cat is a girl cat.
And who knows where she is. She was sleeping somewhere earlier.
Yeah. Hey, JJ. It's good to see you. Oh, Roshafian is here from Malaysia. It's 8:12. Oh, good. Yeah, and Ob says, yes, be thankful for your body. Girl, I am so there too, right? Because here's the thing. You gain weight and you feel uncomfortable because you don't look like you're in a magazine. You start losing weight and parts jiggle differently, so you still don't look like you're in a magazine. And then you turn 60 and there's that, right? So, I feel like I'm aging pretty appropriately. You know what I mean? I don't feel like I'm...
Although by the shocked looks on so many people's faces when we told them it was your 60th birthday, I think that you might be aging even slower than
Well, I think wearing cartoon shirts covered in cat hair.
Well, at least you don't have whatever that is
She
on
was
your
helping
shirt.
me put stuff in the freezer, so I think there's that. So I will take credit
There
for...
might be some creamy pint on my shirt.
There was some photographying happening today. I only did 3, but I went to 4 grocery stores that took me 3 hours to go all the places and put stuff away and do. So I am tired. But let's go back. Let's go back to this for a second too, to be thankful for your body. And I can't remember if we talked much about this. We might have talked a little bit on the Motivate Your Monday that I turned into a Tangent Tuesday. But in going on all these cruises, I'm seeing people heavier than me, floppier body parts than me, and they're in bikinis, they are in like short shorts, they are living their best lives. Not all of them are 30 years younger than me either. Some of them are even older than me.
Yeah.
And so one of the things that I started intentionally noticing how I wasn't, it's really funny because I wasn't like, her arms are floppy, she shouldn't be wearing that. No, I was like, other people have parts that maybe are even floppier than mine or about as floppy than mine, and they're not worrying about it. They're living their best lives. Whereas I'm stuck here worrying,
Well, it's because of when you grew up.
Well, growing up in the 80s was not a great time to, it was not a very body positivity sort of thing. All the Calvin Klein models were teeny, teeny, tiny. So if you guys have some stuff you want to talk about that, because here's the thing. Even if I was 98 pounds again, I would be like, oh, the skin behind my knee is different from when I was 20.
Right?
Right? So I don't think it's not this perfect thing. So actually someone said on a live, I was reaching for something and my wobbled. And someone was trying to be kind, not knowing how weird I feel about Martha. I go, oh, look, it looks like you've got some loose skin. You must be losing more weight. Yay, you. And I was just like, oh, someone saw my waggly arm, and I'm trying not to freak out because I'm live, right? Because we all have these weird things. You have a thing too. Like, and what she'll do is, so she'll be like, how's this shirt on me? And this is literally what she's doing. I'm like, I have no idea. I have no idea, because you're a moving target. Stop. And so I think we all have something like that. Either, I also have like a little bald spot back here.
But you know what? You have really embraced that bald spot because you don't worry about it so much anymore.
I don't, but for a while my hair was getting so cut short enough that we were seeing it in some photos, and that did bother. I think it's when I got pushed off the monkey bars in kindergarten. It's not anything I can control. Though I was thinking, I saw someone had a tattoo on their head.
Do you know how bad that would hurt?
No. I don't. I wasn't sure if this was going to be too much for me, and it really was easy. It wasn't hard at all.
I got twingy on mine towards the end, and she didn't. She was just like, oh, you're done? And I was like,
that's it. Well, and she was like, oh, is that the spot? Because she said, well, when we get here, it's like
close to the bone.
I have like a big dimple here. And she said that you're probably going to feel it there. And I'm like, it just felt like it was vibrating on my bone. It didn't feel ouchy. It just felt vibrating around. It was interesting. I
didn't start feeling uncomfortable. Well, I was also laying in a way that for 2.5 hours, I was laying in a way where one leg was on top of the other one, and my bottom leg started to hurt and fall asleep. And I couldn't really move around much, and I was on my hip, and I couldn't really adjust myself. And so that was a little uncomfortable. But then when she got to the filling in the color on the TARDIS, that one started to be a little ouchy because she was going back over some areas.
You tend to be more pain sensitive than I am. Mm-hmm. Now, that doesn't mean I don't ever feel any pain or anything like that, but there's certain procedures.
You just have a higher level of it.
In most areas. There are some places that I'm like, Like, I actually walked into the bed and there was a thing and it hit my shin. My shin blew up. And luckily, we had a ice pack, and she put it on. Like, it was bad. I'm like, oh my God, if I've broken my shin,
I was so glad that the ice packs were still frozen, because, I mean, instantly that thing went, and we were able to get the ice on there, and I think that saved you from being too owie the next couple days.
Yeah, but it hurt enough, and I was so shocked because I really thought I had passed the bed. And I wasn't expecting it at all. And so she's like, are you okay? I'm like, I couldn't talk, and that's very rare. Mm-hmm. And I'm so glad Joanne is here. Ron is saying most yellow orange cats are male, and that's true. They have one that's 20 pounds.
Oh, wow. Fergus is about 11 or...
He has a little munchkin leg.
Oh, there she is.
I know, but the camera wouldn't come that far. Mm. Only far enough to show that we had a broom and some stuff piled up on the trash can. You're welcome to Tangent Tuesday, where casual reigns. And Simply Ob says, yeah, this body, it's been through some stuff, but I'm still here. And those of you who don't know, Ob's had a traumatic brain injury, and she is just killing it. Mm-hmm. And she also does really great motivational minute-ish on YouTube, so go follow her. Ross Chef Yen says, I've been enjoying all your videos about the test kitchen food on your cruises. I'm quite curious about how the room on the ship looks like. We
haven't done a room video, have we?
But we do have some footage. Cheryl has so much footage.
I have so much that I just can't even, like, it takes me hours just to go through it and label what it is.
Yeah. And that's just on the one she's done now. She has a bunch of other ones. So
I have two 2-terabyte hard drives and like a whole case of SD cards. And
then I have my phone, and I do a lot of stuff too. But the rooms on Virgin are quite comfortable for us. Some people say the beds are hard, but I don't find them hard at all.
I actually like that they're a little closer to the ground too.
They are a little bit lower, and if you have a balcony, you have a hammock. Typically, there are some that don't, some rooms that don't. But there's like, if you're in a regular balcony, the bathroom's quite small, but Oz would fit in it just fine as far as height goes. And I think there would be plenty of room. We feel pretty good about being in there.
It's my favorite, actually. The only thing that I wish I could add from another cruise line into that one is the nightlight in the bathroom. Like Celebrity had underneath the counter.
Yeah, so
and
Celebrity
Disney had.
and Disney Wish both. And I'm just thinking now, because we're having a tangent that, of course, is going to go cruise-wise. We probably should have put this on. Plant-Based Explorers, too.
Probably.
And I didn't even think about that. So what they do is they have so Disney Wish, and we'll talk about this more probably later this week, but they have a toilet room and a shower room, both with sinks.
Which is awesome.
And the toilet room has a little thing, and then under the vanity, a light happens. In Celebrity, we were in a balcony room, and the bathroom was very big and smancy, and so there was this big light, and it was really, really, really nice.
I really like that.
Yeah. All right. And Tia says, laugh out loud, turn 60, the jiggly items start their way down south. I already have some stuff doing that. Thank you. Probably from my 40s and below. And Tanya says, I feel you, Kathy. I'm not a big person by any means, but I'm still not as confident in my own skin as people bigger and arms floppier. And it's very interesting because, again, I'm not going, oh, look, they have big arms. I'm just kind of like, wow, the confidence
You
in
see
this
how
person.
confident that people are, and you're just like, wow, I wish I had that confidence.
Yeah, it's about me admiring their confidence, and I'm not judging their bodies. I may be comparing their body to mine a little bit, but that's my own neurosis.
Yeah.
And Tanya says I'm also working on loving my body. I grew up in Kate Moss era. And Ob says, yes, it's wild to see how easy it is for some people to be so free. And I'm really trying, as we're traveling, like one of the things about traveling is literally learning things about places and people and seeing how things feel different. I wasn't expecting to learn so much just about people on the ship. And Kimberly says, back at the potions and powders, I saw a recipe. Yeah, I'm gonna. We're doing the Ninja Creamy book first, even though it still says potions and powders. So I've got a few more recipes that are going to be coming up too. And Apple says, being queer and punk saved me from body shame. Yay, you, Apple. I'm so glad. And she says, I'm so glad you're starting to find some ease and less judgment. And it's self-judgment. Because here's the thing. I'm on YouTube. Somebody's going to say something crappy about my flappy arm because I just flapped it out there. Our community's not, right? And Cheryl is also starting to learn that some people are going to come in, they're not part of the community, they may say something crappy and move on. That's great. That's just like if somebody bumps you really hard in going into the elevator, you don't really sit and have a conversation with them. You're just like, I'll be off this elevator and I never have to see them again. And so that's been helpful. Hey, Janet is here.
Oh, so good to see you.
You're in London? Oh, wow. How is it? Are you having the very best time? And Ob says, as far as hair, just shave your head like me. You know what? If I didn't have bumps and stuff, I'd think about it. I really would. This is pretty close to me. I got my hair cut on the Disney Wish.
She did.
If you guys were watching the lives, you could see the Muppet growing. And
then I feel like she had a Muppet on her head.
It feels like there's a Muppet on my head.
And I've been having trouble because, like, when we go places, I like to buy T-shirts and things like that. And then there was this one shirt that I really, really, really liked, and I was going to get it, and the size that I'm currently wearing, and Kathy was like, don't do that. You need to go down a size. And I'm like, no, I can't go down a size. And she was like, just try it on. And it almost fit. Like
It'll fit by next week.
It fit perfect. It didn't have the little bit loose room that I like to have. So,
but that loose room is going to be too big soon.
Yeah. So,
and that kind of goes back to the same thing, right? Us looking and judging all these tiny little pieces of things.
Yeah, I get really like if I wear a shirt that's a button up and I sit down and like one of the bottom buttons kind of like pulls or something like that, I get really freaked out. Because to me, that's like your shirt's way too small if your button's stretching like that. And so, trying to get past all that.
Right? And Red Lentil, Yellow Lentil says, my husband does not like needles, but he wanted tattoo rings. Only hurt on the inside close to the bone. I bet like right in there, right? They would not tattoo,
hands.
Not that I asked, hands or face or neck, right? Mm-hmm. So I wonder if they would do like right under my little bald spot.
Well, you can ask what you gonna get.
I don't know. A little owl coming out of a tree.
Oh,
that would be cute. That just came to me. That would be really cute.
Be really cute.
Hello, you see me. That's a way to embrace that. Oh, wow. Jill says I fell asleep when he put one on the back of my neck.
Oh, my gosh.
She would not be good with that.
No, I would not.
Oh, good. Thanks, Apple, for putting that link in. I really appreciate that. Hammock on a balcony. Oh, no.
No,
it's not like way up. Like, literally.
And it's not, the way they have it attached, you can't, like, do big swings in it or anything like that.
It's attached kind of diagonally, so you get in, it looks like it's just a chair, and then you squinch it, and it comes up, and you are secured. I guarantee you. Because I have to then, because I'm so short, I have to lean, and then I have to make sure I have shoes on in there so the shoes can get, and I lean and get my little toe down there and go, woo!
Yeah.
Let's see. But it's not bad at all. And Kim says, have you heard jiggly arms called bat wings? Yes. I could show you where that name comes from, but we won't talk about that. Oh, look, Ron, I appreciate that. Our age, flappy arms are pretty cool. Thinking of it as, what is it? A feature instead of a bug.
There you go.
I like that. Heading to the southwest coastal plain to hike for 6 weeks. 317 miles. Oh, that's amazing. Janet, you are something. And you need to meet our friend Sammy, who's been staying here. I think you guys would really like each other a lot. She's
off hiking someplace in Portugal right now or something. Then she'll be back
she
here.
Did some kind of like scary boot camp thing. And I'm like, she's older than I am. And I'm just like, okay, let's do this. And Ron's going to be 60 in September.
Yay.
Happy early birthday. Kelly says, I didn't wear shorts for years because I had varicose veins. Now I'm wearing shorts again. Oh, now that I'm wearing shorts again, I can't believe I've denied myself of wearing shorts in the summer because of what other people might think. Yes, this. And it's so funny because you just kind of have to get over that hump, and you just kind of have to just decide, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, and there may be things that I'm not going to wear on YouTube just because I just don't want to hear nameless faces just being whatever they are. Because, I mean, when I'm on Chef AJ, someone will always say something about me being big. And they don't always say that about male people who are as big. They're definitely more judgmental of women, which is very interesting.
That's our culture. That's the way the culture has been here for so long.
Well, it's, and Ob says, I mean, it's awesome, but whoa, talking about the size. Going down the size is so weird. Last
It is so
Christmas, I got a
weird.
size small t-shirt.
Oh my gosh.
Congratulations. Hey, Lisa. Welcome to Tangent Tuesday, where anything could come off. My notification is turned off because it's in kids' content and it won't let me change it. Oh, the one I did earlier today. And I don't know how that happened. We scheduled it through
Ecamm,
and I've gone live in Ecamm without any problems. But I added Facebook to it, so I don't know if that also could have jumbled it. Ron says, I have varicose veins and don't really care.
I have varicose veins too.
I have some, I think,
And
now.
I'm like, I don't care. It's veins.
Well, one of the funny things is Cheryl can be kind of, I don't know, overly modest in the house. So, like, there are trees everywhere. And, like, now we've come back, everything's green. So, like, literally, someone would have to go a quarter of a mile, have binoculars, being jacked up on the fence to possibly see something through, because we don't have curtains up here. And I'm like, I'm good. I'm going to, like, go get in the hot tub or something. But in the winter, I'm a little more mindful because we don't have the same coverage. But I've always kind of said, if somebody just wants to see a floppy middle-aged body, they're willing to work that hard, they should be rewarded. Now, do I think that's ever going to happen? No. But, I think people don't, like you were worried on Duke Street too. And I'm like, people are just going by really fast. The windows are high.
Yeah,
so they're not really seeing.
Yeah, but I lost my shorts one too many times taking the trash out over there. So I was a little.
And we were literally right
I think
on
everybody
the busy road.
Everybody in Durham that travels Duke Street has seen me in boxer shorts at least once in their life, taking the trash out. Because I would go to lift something and then I'd suck in my gut and then my pants would go south.
And Tanya says, I'm the opposite of overly modest in the house. My husband is like, the blinds are open. If somebody wants to see it that bad, I think I was more modest when I was like in my 20s. I was not modest at all. Then I was modest, and then I'm just like...
I wasn't modest at all in my 20s.
Yeah. Jeremy says, get your peppers. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to do my garden or not, because we're going to be gone for 6 weeks. And unless somebody comes over
8 weeks.
and waters it, I think it might be more like 7. We've got some days in the beginning of July that maybe it is. But anyhow, so we're gone most of July and August, which is when you really need to water everything. So I'm wondering if this is the year that I just go, you know what? When I feel like puttering in the garden for the weeks that I'm here, I may just weed those, put some fertilizer in them, and just have it all ready, and then have a fall garden. It'll hurt a little bit, especially since I really wanted tomatoes and peppers from that guy. Let's see. Bat wings and really big thighs. Just want to add that it could be due to a disease called lipedema. Most people have never heard of it. Yeah, no, I've seen that before.
Yeah.
I've heard of it.
Jeremy, you didn't get to see my boxers on the boat because I've lost enough weight that now my pants don't automatically hit the floor if I have to suck in my gut anymore. I'm actually wearing like a normal size. I couldn't believe, I don't know if you guys heard us talking before in one of the other lives where I wanted to get some of these, they're the lightweight pants that you can wear in the summertime, and they're moisture wicking and stuff like that.
We've been getting all this Columbia stuff that's really lightweight.
Yeah.
That's my little sleeveless dress.
But Under Armour has the ones that I really like. And so we went to the Under Armour store, and I'm like, well, they had these ones that were on sale. It was basically buy one, get one free. And then I was like, but they don't have my size. And Kathy was like, well, I think you should just try them on. And I said, but they're not my size. And she said, you should go try them on. I said, they're not going to fit. And so I went to the dressing room, and I took those, pair of those, and then 2 different sizes in the men's ones that I used to get all the time because they were cut wider. And then, sure enough, I was able to get the size smaller, and
shocker.
I was very shocked.
She doesn't like to listen to me, y'all.
And now the whole shirt thing just blows my mind a little bit, but...
No, I mean, it's good. And the thing is it never hurts to go and try something on. And even just speaking of Columbia, I got some smaller shorts from what I was wearing before because they just fall off now. But what's interesting is even with the shirts, the really lightweight shirts, I wore one, and then I tried on the same size in a different color, and it was a totally different fit. Absolutely, totally different fit. So also some things in Columbia fit pants wise, and some won't.
It's
it's kind of like Crocs. If you guys have Crocs, so if you get Lady Crocs has a different sizing than the general Crocs. So if you I wear a 6 in Crocs, and you go and you try on a 6 lady shoe, you might wear a 7. That's all I have to say. And Ann says, Cheryl, isn't this such a good feeling?
It is a great feeling. But it is like Ob said earlier, it's just kind of weird when changing clothes sizes is just weird. And also because, how different manufacturers have different sizing things and everything like that. So just when you think you get comfortable with, I can wear this size, and then you'll get something that's too tight because it's cut differently. And then
or they changed the style of the bras.
Oh, they changed the style completely.
I was a Lane Bryant bra girl, then we went to get the same bras, and they were all different. So then we changed to what is it? What was this one that we got, the bras?
Oh, it's that company. They're in the mall.
It's everywhere. And they had some cottony bras, and so I got some of those, and these are on its last legs. And also the underwear I like from
Tomboy,
they're not making anymore. I'm like, what is up with this, people? So now as we change sizes, we're having to totally refine new products, which can be really difficult too. Let's see, I like this. Apple says, the size of the purple mug is terrifically amusing. It is. It's so heavy, so I got it.
Giant.
So, because it's silly.
And it's purple.
And I'm so thirsty today. We ate too much salty snacks, because the drive home.
The drive home was hard.
13 hours?
14.
There was a car accident.
It should have taken 9. But, it was a rough ride.
Yeah, and Ob says, I was raised with the whole modest is hottest. Southern Baptist, that's hard. Tanya says, I'm on a linen kick. Yeah, I had a few linen years in
you had
the 2000s.
When we first met, you were into the kind of linen-y, what was that brand?
The
flax clothes.
I like those. They're awesome. Kimberly says, check out sub-irrigation gardening. Oh, wow. So what happens is I could have drip lines, but I would have to have the time to do it.
Yeah.
So I do container gardening, and they have reservoirs. So I don't have, I have tomato containers that hold.
Maybe we can just buy some plants and give them to Jeremy and just say,
Jeremy, you want to raise some plants for me?
Can we have the peppers off of those plants?
What do you say? Ron wants to know what your hat says.
Oh, this is my Key West hat. It says on this side, Happy Rooster, Key West, Florida.
And it's just a big rooster.
Just a big rooster. They're all over in Key West. They just roam around freely. And so they were very cute.
And Tanya says, I wish sizing was universal. And supposedly it is, but it's not at all. And so it's kind of good though, because going into Columbia.
I better get something for show and tell.
Okay. So from going into Columbia, like right then, and trying on 2 different shirts, 2 different styles of pants. And it wasn't just like skinny versus wider or whatever. It was just very similar. And seeing that they were so different, that helped a lot. Oh, and I thought I'd found a pair of my pants in a different size. So I was like, these could be a little bigger. But like, so it said 18. So I'm like, well, the others were 20. Well, it said 18P, and I think it means for kids.
No, what they were looking at, they didn't look. It's size 2, 18 inches. And so the legs are 18 inches.
So I got it off of Poshmark. So if anybody would like these,
if you wear a size 2, and you would like some Columbia,
they're very cute.
Little crop pants.
They are never gonna. I'm gonna be giving them away probably in Bull City shares. But if anyone here is teeny tiny and wants them, talk to me and I will send them to you.
Yep.
Let's see. Yes, all my sizes are different now. Yeah. It's Mary Ellen, how are you doing? Tell us what's going on.
Yeah.
Are people who wear size 0 invisible?
Well, I mean,
no.
Given that this is a 2.
It would be probably an inch or 2 more than that.
So, like,
it's the people who are in the
size.
movies and TV, the very, very, very thin people.
Yeah. I'm sure there's some people on here that are probably size 2 or smaller.
Oh, Apple. I love that idea. As I was losing weight, I bought fabric at Milestones. And when I reached my goal, I had a batch of new clothes made for me.
That's nice.
It made me so happy. That's amazing. You will get blackberries and like it, says Jeremy. Yes, I will. Thank you very much. Yeah, Apple, that's an amazing idea. And you guys, Jeremy's blueberries are, blackberries are awesome. No drip lines, totally different concept. So I'll have to look that up.
Yeah.
Oh, you're doing good, Mary Ellen. You've been busy getting your house ready for sale. I know you Canadians have been busy with elections, and I think most of that's over. Or I don't know how many elections were happening, honestly. I'm sorry about that. I did listen to NPR today.
We did try to avoid news as much as possible for her birthday.
Well, and just, yeah. But, yay, elections are done, I think. What else? What do you want to talk about? I've been talking. I went on a tangent. You go on a tangent.
Oh, Kathy's birthday was amazing. I put some pictures in the newsletter that went out earlier. From, I might be able to show it in the camera. Does it work?
Well, you have to switch to that camera.
I know, but I was just trying to see before I switch. Okay, so this is how, this
is like the worst way to do this on live, but it's Tangent Tuesday.
Right? And
so we came into the room and there were
decorations
pillowcases and a beach towel and big celebrate and all kinds of things. It was so sweet.
And then there was, and then there was this big magnet to put on the door outside that said,
"Oh, that is not looking."
Oh,
okay.
Happy birthday. And then this was hanging in the corner of the room.
You know, next time we could download these and just show them in here.
And then I didn't think I was going to, but then they had celebrate, done in each letter was a circle and it was draped across the walkway in the room. And so It was super fun because it was decorated like they decorate for the kids.
Yes, and actually the pillowcase, so I'm really funny about sheets and stuff, and I was like, why did she buy me pillowcases? Because I'm probably not going to be able to sleep on them. Because I always get Halloween pillowcases and I can't sleep on them. And I still get them anyhow.
These were nice.
Oh, these are really nice. They're silky.
Yeah.
They're really comfy. Yeah, I'm 62 days.
Yeah, and then and we finally got towel animals on this trip. This is our first towel animals. We were so very excited. The first day we got a seal. Mm-hmm. And the second day we walked in the room and there was a bat hanging from the ceiling. And she was so tickled over the bat.
I squealed and squealed. So it was on a hanger hanging from the ceiling. Mm-hmm. It was so cool. And the guy who took care of us, Lawrence, he was just so sweet.
Yeah, he really made the birthday really special too.
And it was really nice.
On her birthday day, he made a cake out of towels with a big candle.
3 layers.
In the middle. And it was in the middle of the bed.
And me being, like I used to be a banquet server at a 5-star resort. So I've worked in different hospitality industries before I was doing musician stuff and computer stuff and things like that. So I think about that. So like I moved it so maybe he could reuse it again.
Yeah. And we left the happy birthday scroll and the celebrate so that maybe he could use that if he found out somebody had a birthday that didn't necessarily pay for the extra fanfare like I did. But it was so worth it. It was so worth it to see the look on her face when she walked in the door. She just stopped and kind of gasped and just looked like a little kid. And she went on all.
And Robin, who booked this cruise for us, had a bunch of presents, like a hat that's really Cheryl's belated birthday present, another big
water bottle,
and this giant backpack
beach bag kind of thing.
Extravaganza. Like it was.
Yeah, it was very cool. I didn't know. She said she was going to get her something, and I just thought she was going to have like a fruit basket or, bottle of wine or something set to the room. But no, this was like amazing gift. And
it was really nice, and everybody was really great. I feel like, and we'll talk again more about this, I feel like they were...
Then we got this.
That we didn't drink because we got other free drinks because it was my birthday.
We were on the concierge level, and so I bought this to celebrate. It's a 0 alcohol champagne, but basically it's carbonated apple juice with something else in it. It wasn't just apple juice. It had more citrusy flavors.
Yeah, and well, they actually in the lounge gave her one, and they gave me Moet champagne for my birthday night.
But you can't see it in here. But
when
it's
you because it's at the bottom. Do you see kind of that white?
There it is.
Can you see it kind of come down? It has shimmer stuff in it.
It shimmers and is so cool in a
so you can
glass.
Kind of see it a little bit now.
Yeah.
Like a potion.
It looks like a potion in the glass.
So we might save that until I do...
potions and powders.
Yeah. But it was a really, really good birthday. I felt like... On the buffet, things were pretty clearly labeled what was plant-based. Mm-hmm. Some things you had to ask for.
A lot of things you had to ask for.
Yeah, actually a lot more than in other places, and we'll talk about that more. So I would definitely say going on a Disney cruise is a lot like going to Disney. So the best thing to do is ask for the allergy person. Yeah. Then they will come to you and tell you all kinds of miraculous information you can't find anywhere else.
And they'll tell you what they can and can't get you. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you have to wait a little bit because they keep that stuff. Did he call it the main kitchen? At the main kitchen, they keep a lot of this stuff, and then they have to haul it over to whatever restaurant you're in.
So it could be to the buffet, or there's 3 main dining rooms, and then there's other places you can eat too. We were only there 3 nights, so we went to the 3 main dining rooms, 1923, and
We were on the Roy Disney side of 1923.
it has 2 sides.
It has a Walt Disney and a Roy Disney, and we were on the Roy Disney.
And it
It's just your
it's
standard
like drawings
cruise.
and stuff. It was
Yeah.
cool.
It was neat. It had really cool decorations and stuff. Like it was Beauty and the Beast, I think, was the area that we were sitting in.
I don't remember. There's just lots of actual drawings and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
And then the next day was
Your favorite.
my favorite was Marvel, the Marvel restaurant. And they do like a little show thing, and they have these things on the table that you have to. We thought we would have to push the button more than we had to, but at the end, spoiler if you don't want to know, skip past this right now. Cover your ears. So at the end of everything, and you think it's done, and all of a sudden you hear Spider-Man going, "Hey, whoa, wait, what?" Because he was late to get into the fight. And so he's all disappointed because he was late getting to the fight. But he runs in through the dining room.
Into the dining room.
Into the dining room. And everybody went crazy. And there was this lady that was sitting by us. She was probably, in her mid-30s, early 40s?
I think mid-40s.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Ah!"
She
was so
lost it. She
excited.
was so absolutely excited that Spider-Man was there. She was absolutely giddy. And I got a picture with Spider-Man. But it was hilarious because she was so entertaining because she was so excited that Spider-Man was there. And it was kind of funny because, Spider-Man's supposed to be like a teenager and in this iteration of Marvel stuff, and they actually had a little shorter person doing it.
They did.
So it was nice. And then Kathy's favorite,
And the food was,
on her actual birthday, we went to Arendelle,
which is like frozen.
so the Frozen restaurant, and oh my God, the theming is just so
To the
immaculate.
nines. To me, we didn't go absolutely every single place in the ship. We did go to the Star Wars Lounge, which was really cool.
We had fun there.
But I felt like it was the most themed place. Even in our room, though, we had tangled paintings, and then we had a mural in the shower. Like, it was kind of crazy.
And then for Arendelle, you actually had to walk down this really long hallway that was like the hallway that they walked down in the movie. And so it's all the bedroom doors and stuff along the walls and everything, and there's the pictures in the hallway, the same as what were in the movie and everything like that. And so that was really cute. And then they do a little show, and the trio.
A few different times they did different shows, so it was like a musical theater a little bit.
Yeah, but the trio that comes out, and there's a guitar player, a violinist who is amazing, phenomenal, and she was like, I looked at her and thought, "Are you 15 years old?" I know she was older than that, but I mean, I'm of that age where I look at somebody and think they're still in high school, and they're probably in their late 20s, but she was phenomenal.
That just means we're old.
Yeah, she was phenomenal, like absolutely phenomenal, and
they were really good in character and stuff too.
yeah.
So,
And then the characters came around, and there was this little girl sitting at the table next to us, and she had her little Elsa dress on.
she was bitty.
She was little, and she was very well behaved, and she just kept sitting there and watching, and her eyes would get really big, and she would watch, and then finally when Elsa came around, she was so excited.
And we were like, "Go over there, go over there." Like, it was great.
She was coming to talk to us, and we were like, go to the kid, go to the kid. You don't have to talk to us.
Like, it was really fun being in there. It was, I like that whole immersive thing, which is why we like Epic Universe so much.
Yeah.
There's not like 80 bazillion rides there, but the theming is to the nines.
It is
literally.
It is amazing. If you want to immerse yourself in whatever it was unbelievable. It really was.
Yeah.
Oh, and then they did the little thing where the kids did the little like conga train kind of thing around the stage, and the little girl was all excited, and she was like looking at her mom, and her mom was like, go ahead, we're right here.
And there was one little girl who just kept going around. And he was going,
everybody's
gone. She's like, no, I'm still going.
She's like, this is my stage. And she had her little, she went to bippity boppity boo and got her hair did, and she had her princess dress on. And she was walking with that thing like, I own this.
Right, and her dad kind of had to go and block her and grab her and take her to the table. Not if there was no screaming or anything. She was like, do I have to? And Jeremy says he's jealous. I think Frozen is my jam. Too bad they didn't freeze the ocean. No, but
she does the ceiling.
And it went all, it was so cool.
It was with lights, but it was very cool the way they did it. And that was probably the best.
And they were able to give us a couple of vegan options that were from that kind of Scandinavian menu. The one thing
I really liked the stuffed cabbage. I thought that was really, really good.
See, this was the month of stuffed cabbage for you.
But it was that particular type of cabbage was more lettucey than it was.
Savoy cabbage.
Was, not like Slavic cabbage. It was more like a lettuce wrapped around.
Yeah, it was thinly.
Rice and I think they used Impossible meat.
I'm pretty sure they did too. There wasn't a lot. There was a lot of rice in it.
It was
so
mostly
I was
rice.
Happy because at Epic when we got the scary one
that looked like a brain or something.
Yeah, we'll talk. We'll dish on that later. And maybe we'll put it on both channels, but I may just put it on the other because obviously it's not whole food, plant-based, no oil, the food that we're eating when we're out. But it was very good, and there was a potato thing that was wrapped around
the potato thing was good too.
Oh, it was so awesome, and they would have some vegan yogurts that they would make sauces out of.
But then they gave us, once they knew we liked Indian food, they kind of hooked us up with Indian food at every meal. Actually, of all the cruises we have been on,
too much food.
We had to say stop. We because it's like they just kept bringing out food, and it was more than we could eat.
Well, and I think the thing is like, so we met the allergy, kind of the head waiter, who's like the manager of a team. We made friends with him pretty early on. And just because...
Like, once we stepped foot on the ship and went to lunch, he was who actually came to our table.
And he told us what we needed to do for breakfast. He told us what we needed to do for other things. He just made it really, really easy. And because of that, and because we were nice, sometimes it's like when I'm nice at a bar. When I'm nice to bartenders, that has not always worked out well for me because then they might heavy pour you. I don't want the heavy pour. I just want to be a good person.
Yeah, and I think we got
heavy poured
with the food because we were nice to everybody. But
and we were thinking some of the stuff would be smaller portions than it was, and so like on Celebrity, on Virgin, all these other even on MSC, sit down dinners, like you'll get a little soup, a little salad, so. You could order 2 salads. You could order 2 soups and still eat your entree. And
they were bringing out, here's a giant bowl of soup. Here's a giant bowl of curry.
Well, and then this for the Avengers, it was the Avengers one, right, that they brought. So they brought us out some food we had pre-ordered. So we ordered the night before.
They have a noodle dish, like a ramen type. Thing, and that's what we both ordered. We told them, oh yeah, this is what we'll have. That's perfect. And so that's what we thought we were getting for dinner. And
we did get it for dinner.
We did.
So we got that, and I think we had some, I don't know, we'd had some kind of appetizer. I can't remember. I took pictures of most everything. Yeah. And then they brought 2 curries with a giant thing of basmati rice and roti.
Yeah.
And it was tofu sag, which is my favorite. So I ate it, and I did not eat my ramen. And I felt really bad.
Half of my ramen. But, like, I don't know. It was just like crazy. And so for the last day, we told him that it was too much food. And so he said, well, I'll just tell them to make it for one instead of making it for two. And that was the perfect amount.
It was.
It was the perfect amount for both of us to share.
And also we said, instead of getting entrees for both of us, we'd get there was an appetizer, and I think they were both kind of appetizers, actually. They were still bigger sizes than I would expect an appetizer to be. But we felt much better then.
Yeah, we shared everything, and it was much easier.
So it's interesting to know, and I think it would be, we're going on Holland and we're going on NCL, Norwegian.
Yeah.
So I want to do a little research and watch some videos about what those portion sizes look like. I assumed from it happening with 3 lines that they would be small.
Well, but, I looked around on that last day, and nobody's portions were small on Disney. Like, all the portions were, even the kids next to us had this giant plate, and it had, like, sections, and there was, like, 2 pieces of pizza, French fries, I can't remember it was like coleslaw or something like that, and then they had a little piece of salmon, and then they had something else over there, and that was like an adult-sized plate with all that on it for the kids. And then after that, then they brought them sundaes for dessert that were like adult-sized sundaes. So there was a whole lot of sugaring up of children on this ship.
Yeah.
It was, and it wasn't the parents doing it. It was like the staff going, here, have some more.
Okay, let's see. Kimberly says, years ago, my sister took her toddler son on a Disney cruise, and the pictures on the wall in the dining room were all black and white, and by the end of the dinner, they were all color.
That sounds like Beauty and the Beast.
And each ship does different things. We were on the Wish, which is a little newer. I have heard tell that Magic and Fantasy, which are older, are more fun. So
Yeah.
it could be on any of those.
We heard from several people that the Fantasy was their favorite. Yeah.
And Dream, we heard some stuff too.
Yeah.
And Tia says, are you both doing an Alaska cruise? We are. We're doing it with our friends Jill and Wayne from the Plant Pod here in Durham, or in Chapel Hill. And so we are not doing the, for NHA.
Yeah.
One that goes to Alaska, because unfortunately we're not in the country when that one starts. But it looks like it'll be fun. Is anybody going to that?
Yeah. What you're talking about with the pictures being black and white, and then by the end of dinner they're colored, that happens at Disney at is it the Beast Castle or wherever that one grab and go, the sit down where they bring your food out and that you put the little candle on your table.
The Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast one,
I don't remember what it's called.
Yeah.
It's probably.
I can't remember what it's called, but we went there when it first opened, and that was the first time they used that technology of taking the candle to your table and then they brought you the food, remember?
Yeah.
It was a really big deal.
It was
and now they do that everywhere. Now at Epic, you basically go on your app, pick what you want off the app.
Well, you use a QR code and it tells them what table.
And then after you order your food and everything, and then it says what table number is, you scan the QR code and it fills it in, and then you just put, I'm here, make my food, and then it comes out fairly quickly, I thought.
Yeah, no, I thought it came out
And
really
the food
quick.
choices were really, really good there.
It may be different at Epic when you're there, because right now they've just been doing pass holder previews and hotel guest previews. So the park is running at a much smaller capacity. So just know that.
Yeah.
I feel like we're really lucky. I had to kind of pull teeth a little bit to get you to go ahead and do 2 days, because we bought days that we bought 4 days. We're going to move some other place.
Yeah, I got to try to do that. But my plan had been for us to go to Epic one day, and then the next day we would go to Disney, so you could start getting your Disney on before we got on the cruise.
Which, in
But
theory, is a good
Epic-
idea.
It would have been a great idea, but there was so much to see at Epic. We actually had to do a second day to get to see everything. And I'm so glad we did, because we would totally miss the Isle of Burke, which quickly became one of my favorites, especially because she got
beautiful.
soaked on a ride.
I did get soaked on.
She goes, I'm not going to ride a water ride. I'm not going to ride a ride. And then she watched it and she goes, oh my God, it's a game. I have to go play that. It's a game.
If I get to shoot at things, why not?
It's basically
And
Buzz
obviously I'm
Lightyear
shooting-
on water.
Yeah, and the thing that's kind of funny is you can shoot the line. You could shoot, you're basically shooting water.
But the
out.
way the track is, there's a couple places where if your boat gets stopped waiting for them to bring you in, whoever's coming along that other side can just like blast you with water in between the little things. And that was happening a lot. Remember that one kid got in so much trouble?
Yes.
His mom was screaming, stop that, stop that. And he was just like,
He was
getting everybody
he was
in
going all the
line
way
with-
to the boat behind him. He was like, I'm going to get everybody. It's all going to be good. And, but it was fun. And so they had these X's. And so when I was in line, I smelled something. And it wasn't a horrible smell. It wasn't like someone passed gas. It was like just a smell. So I was like, something's going on that's making a smell. Mm-hmm. And with the X, it says, don't do that or you'll smell something bad.
uh-huh.
And so I'm like, ponk, ponk, ponk on the X's. And one of them just basically dropped a bucket of water all on me. And I was like, I did it. I'm okay with that. Oh, thank you, Claire. And Kimberly, we do mean Epic Universe. So that's a new park that's opening as part of Universal Orlando. Mm-hmm. And so, like, there's Islands of Adventure and there's Universal Studios. Mm-hmm. And now there's Epic Universe.
Mm-hmm. Which is not near the other two. It's probably about 10, 15 minutes away, going back towards more of the convention area. In fact, we didn't even realize. We used to go to this conference at Shingle Creek all the time, and it was we always felt like it was kind of out, away from things, and we didn't even realize that we kept driving past the entrance to Shingle Creek the whole time, and there was just hotels built up around it.
A lot of new stuff, and that's why we were staying there. There was a lower star hotel there that was inexpensive but very new and clean, and
I would do that one again, the trip.
Oh, yeah.
I would totally do the trip again. The first one we did, I wouldn't do that one again.
Nah, well, we did that one so we go on Priceline a lot to get our hotels. So, like, we'll just look, or if we're driving, we'll be like, okay, it's about time to stop. We'll do that on occasion, because I'm bougie about sheets, and I need a safe place. It has to be ultra clean, and the sheets have to be okay. The beds have to be okay. And so we've kind of like broken the system where we can figure out what things are there, what cleanliness rating it needs to be, and things like that with reviews. But this one kind of missed.
This one had a really high cleanliness rating.
And it was clean.
And it fit all the things that I normally see when it's a brand new hotel or a fairly new hotel and it's still in good shape. Excuse me.
But it was an older hotel that had been retrofitted with some new stuff, but they left a lot of things, like there were ceiling tiles that were really gross. Are you okay? Do you need help?
I need some more water.
Okay, do you want some of my water right here, right now? Okay. Okay. So some things like that. The elevator needed to be redone, just like it just looked like a really old rundown hotel with some new pictures and things like that. The room itself was okay. It would not be one I would want to stay at for more than just a night. And Tanya says, same, needs super clean. And, I will say this. The best bedding I slept in this whole month with all of these different trips was that Disney boat.
She was like, if I could buy these sheets, we would be buying these sheets and taking them home.
Absolutely perfect. They were perfection. Perfection. And we were constantly...
They were probably like pure cotton and kind of on the heavyweight side.
They weren't so much, like, to me, if you get like 1,200 thread count,
these were higher than
then it's too thick and it doesn't feel soft. It has to be more, at least over 200. 300 is ideal to start with, but like it's somewhere, it was the sweet spot.
Yeah,
they
were amazing.
It was so soft.
Yeah.
And they weren't satin, but they were real, like, oh, they were just beautiful, and they don't sell them.
They were cottony. They were almost like bamboo.
Or like a blend, maybe. Mm-hmm. And so...
You can buy almost everything except for the sheets.
Yes.
So weird. You
Yeah.
could buy the laundry bag if you wanted to buy the concierge
Here's the laundry bag with the keys on it so you could be smancy. Yeah. Cheryl got a concierge hat.
I did get a concierge hat. You got
Because
a little pin.
Yeah. Woo. And let's see. Lisa says, because of your visit to Epic, I bought a ticket for May 12th. You're going to have the very best time.
Right. Oh, my God.
I noticed this week they've upped how many people they're letting in. So what I did is I went on Facebook and I looked up Epic Universe and joined a bunch of the groups. So as people are going in, some people, of course, anything that's new, they're like, oh, this is horrible. And same thing, if you're looking to go on a cruise or something, get on the different cruise Facebook groups, and there's usually one for each sailing, in addition to like the Scarlet Lady and all of these things.
And they come in handy when you're on the cruise, because like if you have, like we have our medicine kit, and somebody could put in there, does anybody have any ibuprofen? And then somebody say, I do, and then you can share your ibuprofen.
Or like, we're at this place on the port, this is really cool, and you could go, oh, I could go there, or just, I found it very helpful. But you will hear some people complaining about stupid stuff, because it's 2025. Evidently, it's a new sport that we're having here in this year of 2025.
And the only thing that I have to say about Epic Universe is that if you have noise sensitivities like we do,
bring
earplugs for Nintendo World, because it sounds.
Oh, you like don't have your mic on. You didn't turn it back on.
Sorry.
Thanks, TS. I appreciate you letting us know that. Nintendo, so like
Nintendo
the first day we only did Dark Universe, and we did the Harry Potter part, which is in the French ministry, and so.
And we did finally get to ride the Harry Potter ride
the second day, when we also did Isle of Berk, and we did Nintendo World. We just rode one ride, and it's what you expect. If I was a little kid who was playing Nintendo at that time, I'd be like, "Wow!" But there's no shade. It's very loud.
If I would have been a little kid and if they would have had that stuff when I was playing games when I was younger, like I would probably peed myself over that. Because I mean, it's like it's so immersive. Like we were actually in Mario Kart.
Yeah.
We were in the game, like in a cart, going behind Bowser and Mario and Luigi, and Princess Peach went flying by a couple times.
It was very cool, and it's not even my jam, but it was really cool, and I thought the technology was really neat, and we'll talk about that a little bit more. But what was really delightful about Epic Universe is pretty much every place. Probably not every single place. What?
Why is that round like that?
Oh, because I was doing...
Oh, it's your editing program.
Yeah, because...
She had this round dot on her computer. I thought someone was...
magic.
You can give them a sneak peek.
No.
She said, nope, no sneak peek.
No sneaky peeky.
She took lots of pictures today
I took 3 pictures
for Creamy Book 3.
And I've got more recipes I have to write up and put in the tester site. I made a whole bunch of pints the morning before we left. And so I just want to spin it, have a double check with a couple of things. I'm trying some innovative things, so I want to make sure they turn out. Oh, Tia says, I really enjoyed the tour of Epic you both did. Oh, that's great. Because I will tell you, I watched some other people doing it too before we went, just to kind of get a little bit of a feel. And I want to cut it out. I want to have a clip of the Monster Hunter, because people have asked to see that. So
she's amazing.
Chef's kiss. So things I like about, yeah, exactly. Another original title. I put my creativity into the recipes. No, I'm just kidding. Am I on Chef AJ tomorrow? I thought I was on Chef AJ on Thursday. That's a really good thing to know.
That's going to be a really big problem if you're on it tomorrow.
It's got to be April. Yeah, Thursday at 2. Yeah, at Thursday. Hopefully Chef AJ doesn't think I'm on there tomorrow.
Better check your... Let's double check.
I'm just going to say, I'm texting Chef AJ right now. We're on for Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right? Because if not, it's not going to be not. Hopefully it is your bad apple. In this case, that would bring me great joy, because I'm going to the chiropractor tomorrow from all this travel, and then I teach a class. So I'm about, that would be hard.
Yes, that would be
And I
very
haven't
hard.
made that creamy pint that I'm going. Oh, was your mistake? Okay, good.
Oh.
And so I'll say, never mind. Someone just asked me on a live, and I got scared that it was not then.
I think you're making something creamy-fied, aren't you?
I am. What are you in show? I'm going to show and teach Chef AJ live how to use the Ninja Creamy Swirl. So I am kind of her go-to. She doesn't like to read manuals.
Appliance whisperer.
Right, so usually I hop on a Zoom with her, and I think this is going to be the first of a few that we're going to do. I think we're going to do one on the Nama M, the milk maker, and we're going to do one on the Ninja Crispy, which I still have to buy. And if Hydron is watching this, I missed the purple one. I almost bought it, and then the next day I was like, oh, I'm going to go get it, and they're all gone. So maybe they're back now. Apple says I'm such a brat, unintentionally. Not really. It's so easy to get wires crossed. And actually, I'll deal with that later. I may have confused her, so I might be able to delete it from my other phone. Betty Ann says, are your creamy books easy? Just bought a Ninja Creamy and have no idea what to make. I think they're pretty easy. I'm going to be running a sale. So tomorrow I'll put it out. I wanted to put it out today, but I did not get to it yet.
You haven't even busted that thing out yet, have you? The Nama.
I've already done 2 videos. 2
Oh, really?
lives. Yeah, before
Where
we
was
left.
I? Packing? You were making videos left and right when we were getting
I
ready
went
to leave.
live like every day the week before we left. I was like, let's stir this up. My cookbooks are easy. You guys, Tanya makes my recipes. Kimberly makes my recipes. Apple makes them. So if you guys want to chime in, any of you who've been making my Ninja Creamy recipes, I think they're really pretty easy. You can also go to healthyslowcooking.com. Up in the menu, there's Ninja Creamy, and you can get some free recipes there. I'm going to be adding some more from book 1 and book 2 in there, but that may not happen till June. I got to get this book done before I start adding a lot like that. I give you some information about the machine. So ebook 1 talks only about the original. Ebook 2 talks about the original and the deluxe. Ebook 3 is going to talk about the original, the deluxe, and the swirl. Also, in ebook 3, and I've got to get a pre-order up for it. When you pre-order a book, you're just like, that's when you trust me. I'm just going to send a smiley. Smiley. There we go. She said yes, so I'm smiling. Oh, Betty Ann says, nice, you're so creative with food. Me, not so much. I think the thing is, once I really like variations of things.
You do.
And so I like the idea. Like, I feel like I like ebook 1, and I was one of the first ones to kind of make whole food, plant-based, no oil, mostly nut-free, with nut-free options and stuff. And so I feel like ebook 2 really took that to a more easy to understand and easy to utilize level with the recipes, as far as like, here's some thickeners that are whole food, plant-based. We can move these around. With this one, I'm going to be doing some different flavors. I'm like, I think Tanya, I think you asked me for this, was like making it with tofu, or maybe you just, I can't remember, somebody asked me and I'm associating it with you. I'm also going to make some more with some beans. I had done that some in the first book. I'm going to try and do some more specific little different ones instead of you just try whatever. But you can always change it out. And you can use okara, you can use white sweet potato, you can use zucchini and beans, you can, there'll still be that list. I have a waffle cone maker and a waffle bowl maker. There's going to be toppings. So I already, those of you who are in the Kathy's Cooking Club, I have a microwave hot fudge that worked out really well. It's like a mix. So I probably won't make the mix there, but we'll use that in a similar way. There'll be maybe some date caramel, some other toppings. While you can use whatever sweetener you want, most of them use dates, pears, applesauce. I'm trying to work on a pear sweetened vanilla, and I've gotten very close. That's going into testing. Oh, you were making tiger tail. Tiger tail is the orange and the licorice, right? Oh, Vagana said, I just experimented with the Ninja Creamy using store-bought chocolate hummus. And that's totally easy. And the original is fine. I even have the Breeze, which I didn't even have time to put in a book before they canceled it.
It's
so
true.
I have all the models. And I will be using all of them to make this book, right? And thank you. Yeah, I've been making recipes a long time. And with chocolate hummus, so like, here's the thing that I found. There is a sweet spot, which is why it's nice to have recipes, because I was working on a chickpea chocolate for the first book, and there was a time it was too stodgy. So you kind of have to get this, like, is it too stodgy or is it just right? Or is it a little bit too icy? I just made
I get to taste it all while she goes, what do you think of this? What do you
I
think
just
of this?
shove things at her. I did that today. And Apple, tiger tail is that. So a lot of people want to know about the swirl. And in the swirl, you can actually pour it out like soft serve, or extrude it out like soft serve is really more of the correct terminology. So you could theoretically have a pint of licorice and a pint of orange, spin each one, take half out, put half of the other one in, and then do the swirl. But you can't even then just go and freeze it, because then you have to spin it again. It's going to mix it all together. So Apple, I need to look for that, because I think you mixed it together, didn't you? You just had it together. But I saw someone do a wicked swirl.
Pink and green?
Purple.
Purple
And green. But it's a lot of work for, like, I kind of feel like if you're not an influencer or a cookbook, like, I'm going to have to do one because I need a picture of that, right? But if you're coming to my house, am I going to make it? Like, if I love you that much, and you'll,
She
maybe.
won't even do that for me.
No. And Betty Ann says, the swirl looks like, yes, combined. Okay, cool. That I can do, no problem. I just don't think, from having written as many recipes as I have, that people are going to actually do all that work to make the swirl color. But I do have a licorice. I have to spin it and get it into testing based off of Apple's advice, really. And I've got a kumquat pint in there, so there's a few different things. Yeah, and Tanya likes the chickpea chocolate.
I like the chickpea chocolate too.
And so chickpeas are a really good thickener. I'm also, I did one protein pint, and you can always make any of them into protein pints if you're following one of the more protein heavy, whole food, plant-based, no oil people. You can always add a couple of tablespoons or up to a quarter cup, I think, of protein powder and just adjust the other ingredients accordingly. But I was thinking, like, if I do some with tofu or maybe do some with some yellow lentils or some things like that, that might be a really nice way to kind of check that out too. Like I said, it's going to be extravaganza. I ordered more creamy pints, so I'm probably going to have 50 before maybe not. Maybe I'll only have 40. I had 30 before, but I gave some away. Mine doesn't look like tiger tail, but it tastes the same. Okay, great. Now, another thing that you can do, like if you wanted to swirl something, let's say we made kind of like a licorice flavored caramel. So I think you could do like if we had a date sauce, we could put some anise extract in there, and we could put a little charcoal coloring to get that black in there. And you could mix that up, and then you could do your orange ice cream. Then we could put it in a bowl, do that swirl manually, and then scoop it out, and that would work too. And Kelly's saying, am I remembering correctly, I can make your Ninja Creamy recipes in the Vitamix? You can. It is not going to be exactly the same. So with the swirl, it makes it a little bit different, though. You can do all the things you can do in all the other Ninja Creamies, the deluxe. You can make your cremachinos and stuff. You just have to watch my video where I tell you how you can do that in an original machine. They don't have settings for that. When you do it in the Vitamix, it becomes kind of nice cream, so it's not really as scoopable. It's not going to stay in scoops. That's what I think is really fun in the Ninja Creamy. But what you can do is, if you don't want to get a Ninja Creamy for whatever reason, you can freeze my recipes in ice cube trays, let them sit out for a couple minutes depending on how cold your freezer is, how hot your room is. Put it in a Vitamix, or like some people use a Ninja Chopper. I haven't done that yet. And you will have a frozen tasty treat. So you can do that. Okay, that's a good question. What creamy machine would you recommend? This is how I usually do it. Like, why did I get the swirl? Because I knew everybody was going to ask me questions about it, because I'm trying to stay ahead of the learning curve to help you guys. So I got it, actually I ended up getting it before it was released. I got it through Crate and Barrel, I think. Mm-hmm. It was either Crate and Barrel or Pottery Barn.
Or was it Williams-Sonoma?
Mm-mm.
No?
It was a very weird way, and then they shipped it before it came out. I was like, yay me. I had 2 originals. One I have, one I gave to a friend. Both are working. And realize I am using it more than normal people do. Because every year I'm making 50 new recipes.
She puts appliances like through their paces. Like like, if you want to know if something's going to last or not, just check with us after a few months, because she just really...
And I would tell you if things broke. Like, remember the Nutter broke and it wasn't doing so well, and I'm not as huge a fan of that. That's why I like the Arc Mira. I don't know the Arc Mira people. It's just somebody out in China. It works really well, and I like it. So
it's held up, and it's sturdy, and we travel with it.
And like with the Ninja, it's not because it's Ninja. It's because this is the Paco Jet is $5,000 to $10,000. I did see that there's kind of another kind of knockoff one, and I'm thinking of getting it.
That one
that we're seeing on Facebook.
Yeah.
Just to see what's it like. Is it close? But I got to get past this book to do that. And then we'll talk about that on a live or in social media or something.
Oh, speaking of, you should get to bed. You got a big day tomorrow.
I do. Okay, let me finish this because she's asking me what model she should get.
Okay.
So the Deluxe is a bigger one. Both the Swirl and the original are 2 cups. It's 3 cups for the Ninja Deluxe, which is over here. I have creamies everywhere. I've got another creamy over there in the corner.
This is the Deluxe with more buttons.
And you can do all the stuff in the other one, so don't worry about the buttons. Here's what I would say to you. If you have one at Costco, and I think it's the Deluxe model that's at our Costco right now, if something goes wrong with it, Costco will give you your money back and replace it. Well, give you your money back or replace it. Now, Ninja's been pretty good about if something goes wrong or you get a lemon, you talk to their customer service. But I like the idea that since this was a new appliance, that my Vitamix is from Costco. I try to get those things from Costco. I got Jeremy one for him from Sam's Club, and I think his is working fine too. So I would say whatever's the easiest one for you to get is the best one. The Swirl is bigger. It's a little quieter. If you don't have one, it costs a little bit more. The pints cost more. I think they're because the pints have a lot more parts to them because of the swirly stuff. So there's a lot more moving parts. I don't know how this is going to do in the very end of things. But so far it's done pretty well. I am not using it as much as I'm using the others yet. I will as this goes on the next couple of weeks.
I would feel like those take up more space in the freezer because of the weird shape on the front.
Yeah, they're going to take up more space and for storage, but you don't need 30 pints. I need 30 pints. And so I have a whole cabinet that's nothing but pints when I'm not doing a book. But what I would say is Costco, if you have a Costco, if you don't, check out Sam's. You can order them online through Amazon. You can order them from Ninja. Oh, Betty said okay, you got yours on Sam's Club on sale.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would think any of the warehouse places would be a safe place.
Yeah, and they're usually a little bit cheaper. Now,
and sometimes they come with more pints too, yeah?
Usually you do get some, Apple says I need 30 pints. So you can you were doing overnight oats in yours, so you can meal prep all your breakfast all summer long in one day. And what happens is we do these books and then I have my ice cream made for me. And sometimes we even are still eating it in October or November.
Actually, right now there's still some in this refrigerator in there that we haven't had.
Yeah, a couple. But hopefully that helps, and I am going to go to bed because I do have a big day.
I should go to bed too.
Do you want to go to bed too? Do you guys? I feel like we were the only ones who went off on tangent. Does anybody need to do a tangent? Tanya says I have 6 pints and that's plenty.
Yeah.
But see, I literally made 8 or 9 pints before we left, and so I'll be spending.
Oh, you did more than that.
Did I do 12?
Yeah.
I did a lot, so we'll see. Oh yeah, QVC is good.
Yeah.
I did, and
that one came from QVC.
The purple one. my purple original, and I think I got 5 or 6 pints with it. And so getting extra pints can be really helpful. Just be mindful, there is one on Amazon, an original, where you just get 1 pint. You need more than 1. You need at least 2.
Yeah.
And they show, oh, Miss Elizabeth is here.
Hey, good to see you.
How are you? I'm sorry we missed the potluck.
Yeah.
And Indian buffet. We missed all the things.
And I think we'll miss Indian buffet again because it's not this week.
Mm-mm.
Boo.
Do we? I think we get, it's not this week, but it's next week.
Oh.
So I think we may get 2 if we get our stuff.
We have to just make sure we're all packed up before we go.
Yeah. We miss you too, Elizabeth. You're so sweet. And it was very good to talk to all of you guys. Tanya says, my machine came with 2 pints. I bought 4 more. Oh, Elizabeth, you missed the buffet. Were you doing something fun?
Hope you were doing
I hope you're doing something fun. Because Elizabeth, next potluck is May 31st for anybody who's local. This is Elizabeth, who runs the plant pod in Chapel Hill that we talk about all the time. It's a really great way to meet other people who are kind of doing what you're doing and meet up at some restaurants and just have some general awesome time.
Yep. Make friends.
And Elizabeth's still talking to me even after I cleaned my refrigerator out at her, which I feel like was kind of a violent act. I'm like, can you take this food? Because I had taught like 3 classes in like 5 days. And so I had a counter full of food. I think she thought, oh, I'm going to get like 1 or 2 things. And I like had, it was so much food. So thank you for doing that.
Oh, no.
Oh. I'm so sorry, and I'm glad he's doing well. Elizabeth's dad is...
He's pretty amazing.
Is he 90?
Yeah, he's up in the 90s, and he's also an amazing, like, vegan bread maker.
Yeah, and he had a pacemaker procedure. Okay, he's doing great. Let us know if we can do anything. You love the leftovers. Excellent. Tanya says, I wish I lived near you guys. You would get some food.
Yeah.
It happens a lot. We have friends that are picky eaters, so sometimes I invite people over for dinner. 95. Her dad is 95. He gardens. He's amazing. But sometimes I just have to give it away. Like with me doing a Ninja Creamy book, I cannot have any freezer space. You know, that is not used for this.
In fact, I'm having to clean little sections at a time of the freezer just to get the new stuff in.
Yeah.
So.
All right, guys. Well, tell us how you like Tangent Tuesday. Would you like to keep doing Tangent Tuesday?
We can do some more.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. I gave Elizabeth. I was like, what did I do with that cucumber? Because some plants are looking really bad here. We repotted your cucumber, hoping we didn't kill it with all the frost. I doubt you did. And you can help test pints. Excellent. I like that.
We will have a Motivate Your Monday next week. This week we had all intentions of doing it yesterday until we sat in traffic for hours on end. So,
we really thought we were going to get home at 7 o'clock. And then we thought 8 o'clock. And we're like, we can still do this.
Yeah, well, I was like, 8:30, 9 o'clock, we can still just run in. And she was like, I'll unpack the car. You go start the video stuff. And then we just it just went on forever. Like they literally closed an entire section of I-95 and were rerouting people off through the country. And it was just crazy. And it went from 3 lanes trying to get down to 1 lane and everybody get off at an exit. That didn't have a red light or anything, just a stop sign. So it was a little crazy, but we will definitely do Motivate You Monday next week.
Oh, good. Everybody's loving Tangent Tuesday that I made up off my top of my head. Well, welcome. I'm glad that you guys enjoyed the very first Tangent Tuesday.
And we'll do it again.
Yeah, we'll definitely do it again.
It's fun.
I think it's fun. this is kind of what we do anyhow, but now we don't have to feel bad about just having a tangent. You guys can ask whatever questions you want about either.
We get an excuse for a tangent.
Woo! All right, guys, have the very best night. Those of you in Kathy's Cooking Club, I will see you tomorrow at 1. It's a Wednesday at 1. Most people voted for that, so if you're like, why are you doing this? You need to email me and tell me you hate it, okay?
Okay.
Oh, hopefully we'll get to see you before Alaska, but we'll see. Okay, great. Tangent, okay. Awesome. Have the very best night.